It's Between the Reels with Mildred Simi Gang. Here we talk about movies beyond entertainment. And today we will be drawing live perspectives from the movie Finding Me. Yes, that's Funke Akindele's 2025 movie showing on Amazon Prime. And this movie came after her last film, Jennifer's Diary. Sorry, forgive me. It came after her last production, that is Everybody Loves Jennifer. And then we were expecting something like that. But I think the moment I saw the title, I knew that this is not comedy, as usual for Funke Akindele. But however, I think that I always consider Funke Akindele's films to be family films you can watch with family. And I think that is one thing that broke my heart. Okay, it's okay. It broke my heart because I was like, let's go. Amazon Prime is showing Funke Akindele's Amazon. Let's go see this movie. And then we there. And then the next thing is that we see some scenes that are not proper for children to watch. Auntie Funke, you need to help us. How did we get to that point? I used to pride you with giving us films that are that way. But I guess we are not your only audience. There are other audience that you need to reach out to. But then let's focus on the other things that could be learned from this movie. The film is starring amazing talents. And of course, Funke Akindele is taking the lead role as Atinuke Phillips with her husband, who is played by Joseph Benjamin. And then, of course, like we saw him in Baby Farm, he was a good husband, but this time he decided to be a villain. Oh my God. Oh well, he played that role quite well too. And then Funke Akindele acted as a woman in her 40s, I think, who is successful, a CEO, but is caught up in an abusive marriage, in a toxic relationship with her husband. They have a son who we later found out that it was not even their son. They adopted him because there was a complication, or she thought she had issues as a woman with conceiving children, and she later found out that there was nothing wrong with her when she's caught up in an extramarital affair with a young man played by Efe Iwara. And then she later gets pregnant, and that's it. Let me not give you too many spoilers out there. You go watch the film and tell us what you learned from this movie. And of course, like I said, there are amazing talents like Omaomi Dada and Shafe Bello, Omoni Oboli. We also have I've forgotten his name right now. The guy with the beard, with the white beard. Somebody help me. Well, I can't remember his name. But he played the fake doctor. And then we have Dele Odunle as her father again. Again, he's acting the father of an adopted daughter whom he gives all his wealth to without any restriction. And then we have Femi Adebayo, who is her stepbrother, or her brother, who wants to have the whole money and all that. But that's not it. If you want to see it, it's there on Amazon Prime. Interesting movie. I think it spans for about 2 hours plus. Yes, there are places that were dragged a bit, but just go watch it. Interesting movie. But let's just go to the business of the day. So one of the things I saw in this movie, or the themes to explore, is a theme of self-value, self-respect. If you do not respect yourself, if you do not, first of all, place value on yourself, it's hard to have anyone to place value on you. This has been said over and over and over again. And I don't know how people just always end up on the circle of not valuing themselves. And I think it's place for parents and people to intentionally begin to put the right value on themselves. It's not self-exaggeration. It's not that's not to make you become selfish, because I don't preach self-happiness first. I don't preach that, because sometimes people become very selfish. But then we see that Atinuke does not put the right kind of value on herself. That is why she is caught. I would say that she is caught in a toxic relationship that she does not even know, and she's not able to even see the red flags, or better still, let's say she ignores them. And then secondly, it's important to identify what toxic relationships are like. People who have had good love. Like she has, you see the relationship between her and her father. I would say that her father loves her very well. Her mother is supportive. So how did she end up with such a man who tells her you're not beautiful, you're not good enough? It looks like the movies that are coming up these days are coming up telling us more and showing up what narcissistic behaviors are all about. He gaslights her, he's cheating on her, stealing her money, maltreating her, calls her fat and ugly and all that. And she keeps saying that this happened because I'm your wife, I'm this, why do you talk to me like that? I was like this when you met me, which makes me ask men, what do you really want? You met a lady plus size and now you're complaining she's too chubby. You met a lady slim and you knew that when she has children, she's going to change. Why do you do this to women? Oh, well, that is up to you to answer. And it's good to identify toxic relationships. So parents are like, begin to teach your children what red flags are like. What are the things to see? And people begin to learn and read and study and know what to run away from. Like I said, if you have your values straight, when you meet someone who does not have the same kind of values with you, it's easier for you to walk away. So you don't end up like Atinuke Phillips in a crazy marriage. Then another thing we should look out of is that there are societal expectations that people have of us, and some of those expectations often fall on women. Let me talk about that of women. The expectations that people have of women is that at the age of 25 at the most, you should be able to be married. Once you are 25, you see girls this age, you are 25, you're worried that you're not married. And a woman who has no self-respect or self-value for herself will end up being in a relationship with somebody who will abuse her. Now, because people get under pressure to be married, you find out that they often attract such kind of people because they see the desperation in you. And that's because sometimes a society expects that you should be married at certain age. Now, you see that when you're now married, another pressure comes. You do not have children. Why haven't you had children? The first child comes. The next question is, why don't you have more children? And then the pressure keeps going on and going on and going on. And if you have a lady who is comfortable, the question is, you're too comfortable, you're being flamboyant, you will not attract men. Like, I don't understand. Are all the men very dumb or broke that they don't want rich women? Like, what is really the problem? Now, another pressure can be for the men. For men, the pressure that they usually have is the pressure to be successful, the pressure to have a certain level of success that will attract certain kind of women. And you find that sometimes when you don't have that kind of success, it puts pressure on men to want to go into heels. They usually do not even rush into marriage. They want to have more money, more power so they can get married. So you have to answer these questions. Why are you getting married? Why do you want to be with this person? Are you being with them for the right reason? And are they with you for the right reason? It's obvious that Mr. Phillips was not with Atinuke for the right reasons. And of course, another thing is having supportive family and friends, people around you who believe in you, who are ready to stand by you no matter what. There are things that happen there. Extramarital relationship is not encouraged. It's not right. Divorce is not encouraged. And we saw a woman who tried to stay in her marriage, even though she had made some mistakes. But just go see the movie and let us know what you saw that stood out for you, the character that stood out for you, the scene that made impact in your life, and what you think you want to adjust or drop, learn or relearn from this movie. It's Between the Reels with Mildred Simi Gang, and we have been talking about Funke Akindele's Finding Me. It's important for you to find who you truly are, especially before marriage. Not everybody gets the opportunity to marry a spouse who will help them find themselves. So perhaps you should try to find yourself first if you're single before you get married. And if you're married already, pray that your marriage keeps getting better and that you're the right person who will help you find yourself, and you'll also help them find or become the best of who you are. Have a great weekend. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can get more content from Between the Reels with Mildred Simi Gang.